After Gambia, it is Uzbekistan. News flashed last weekend that the Health Ministry of Uzbekistan had linked the death of at least 19 children in Samarkand, second biggest city in the country, to the cough syrup supplied by an Indian drug manufacturer called Marian Biotech, based in Noida. The Health Ministry of India responded. It has temporarily suspended the production of the same cough syrup till further notice. But a Business Standard report last Saturday tells us that this company, Marian Biotech, which has the license only to export medicine abroad, has been prospering very well in the last few years compared to FY18. The report says company's revenue grew 75% by FY22. But what is noteworthy is that the company's profit soared a whopping 700% in the last 4 years. Question is, did this company earn those huge profits by supplying substandard medicines to the low-income groups in Central Asia and Africa? Uzbekistan authorities tell us that the laboratory tests have found the presence of very high level of ethylene glycol, an industrial chemical, rather a toxic substance that should never be used in the medicine. We'll have to wait and watch how things will play out in the next few days and possibly a few weeks. But there is no denying that the incidents like this besmirch the formidable reputation of India, which last year, mind you, last year in 2021, had earned the moniker of pharmacy of the world for one country which has supplied COVID vaccines to many parts of the world. But 2022 turned out to be a shameful year. Due to few of our pharmaceutical companies' acts of omission and commission. Remember Gambia, a poor African country in which more than 60 children had died a few months ago last year, consuming cough syrup made by again an Indian company. That time the World Health Organization had flagged the issue. There was massive concern in India when the issue made international headlines. A senior official of the National Medical Council had then assured us, the Haryana-based company Maiden Pharma, which had manufactured that cough syrup, was only authorized to export that syrup. It is not licensed to sell it in the country. So nothing to bother. What did that mean? Well, it meant our children are protected. Children in Western world are surely protected, as maiden farmers of this country or anywhere in the world will never have an access to these countries. It's only the poor in African and other low-income countries who die by taking these cheap substandard medicines. Look at the truculence of the Indian authorities. They said, our investigation showed that the cough syrup manufactured by Maiden Pharma did not have any contaminations. the troll army of the ruling party went on a hyperactive, claiming that Gambia's children's death controversy was an international conspiracy to malign India. Conspiracy by whom? The attack was clearly directed against the WHO, which had investigated the case. After India's claim that there was no contamination, the WHO once again went on record to say on December 16 that the samples of cough syrup that it had collected from Gambia had unacceptable amount of diethylene glycol. That the WHO could not comment on the conclusion of the Indian authorities, that the WHO did not know if India got the samples of the cough syrup from Gambia or from somewhere else. The ruling party spokespersons then claimed WHO is defaming India when Gambia itself had not blamed India. It was a slap on the face of the same spokespersons when a parliamentary panel of Gambia, which examined the matter in detail with the help of an expert committee, came to a conclusion last week that the maiden Pharma made cough syrup was the prime cause of death of the 66 children. Now, what will the representatives of the ruling party, same spokesperson, will say? Will they now accuse Gambia of co-conspiring with the WHO to defame India? Insecure people and insecure countries make such kinds of sweeping remarks. They find conspiracies everywhere. Remember, WHO chief was felicitated in our country when he hailed India as the pharmacy of the world. But when he pointed the accusing finger at an Indian company for the Gambian tragedy, he becomes a conspirator, maligning the country, maligning our beloved country. The ruling party and the government of the day must learn. They must not simply lap up the praise heaped on them by the international agencies. They ought to have the maturity and the courage of conviction to also accept the criticism in the right spirit. We must find remedies and not look for conspiracies. That's where our truth lies. Thank you.